Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. And welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra healthy side helping of fried pork chops. That sounds really good. Haven't had some for a while and I need to make some. Get out the old iron skillet and make some good old fashioned pork chops. Hope everybody's doing well. And yes, I seen that the second I hit the go live button. I seen Monkey went live too. And hey, that's okay. You guys want to go watch Monkey instead? Uh, Go ahead. No hard feelings. You'd rather watch Monkey. He's going to talk about politics, and I'm probably not going to. So if that's what you want to hear, go listen to Monkey. And there's no hard feelings on my part, none whatsoever. Understand that. Um, so yeah, he doesn't do it on purpose. Trust me, the man is just oblivious sometimes. Uh, Passes, I just saw that myself. Good thing I have multiple devices. Yeah, I have more than one thing I can listen to the stream on, but I wouldn't be able to pay attention to more than one stream at a time. So, um, Patty Politic doing okay comment. I think I just seen that tweet on Twitter a minute ago when I logged in to send out my invites. All politicked out at the moment. I'll stick around here, Kyler. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Speaking of Twitter, and I want to get this out before I forget to. And this is not a joke. I know I complain about Twitter all the time and everything. I'm seriously considering doing an extended self-imposed exile from Twitter, except for maybe popping on to send links to my streams and so forth, because it's just so much drama lately, and my life has recently got even a little tougher than it usually does, and I don't need that. I know some of y'all enjoy it. I've never been someone that does. Just don't enjoy it. I mean, I never even watch shows like Jerry Springer or anything. Why do I need that? I got enough drama in my old life without watching someone else. And I know it's called Schadenfreude. People like to see other people suffer. It makes them feel better about their life. But so just a word up. I'm not planning on leaving Twitter altogether, but I might take an extended leave and just stay away from it unless I'm going to send a link out to the stream. So there you have it. I have sent a couple of invite links out. One of them was Monkey, so obviously Monkey's not going to show up. But there was at least one other, and so I'll click back and forth and so that I can make sure not to miss when they show up, because that is one thing that StreamYard needs to change. Is there should be some kind of alert that happens when your guest shows up so that you can pull them into the stream in case you're watching the watch page like I'm doing. But I hope everybody's doing okay. Let's see who's here. Sheograth, the Jaeger Pony, Jim Beam, RB8R, all you need. Kyler, as I mentioned earlier. Clinton Whitaker. This is good afternoon from your local legal drug dealers. Quality check so you don't have to. There you go. Kay Scholl, your boy Pat. Hey, Pat. Sean DW. Theater Winch Ginger. Mike Savage. Search is 0. Number 1. And if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. It's because I'm old and I don't see so good. Although I am seeing better right now. I've got a brand new pair of glasses. Got them Friday. Good news is I can see really good, and the eye doctor told me that at my age, my eyes won't be changing anymore, unless I develop an issue like cataracts or something like that, of course. And the bad news is they're a little bit heavier than the glasses I had. The other glasses were all plastic. These are metal framed. And I was afraid of this when I ordered them, but I like the look of them. they slide down my nose a little bit. So I think I'm going to have to go get them adjusted just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not like they're falling down bad or falling on my face. It's just over time they're gradually creeping down my nose, and the old pair didn't do that. So I spend a lot of the day punching myself in the face to put my glasses back up. But it does for me. I get a ding when it happens. Pat says, huh, maybe it's a setting that I haven't set. I don't know. Mine never does. Not that I've ever paid attention to anyway. Of course, when you say a ding, it made me think of the lottery. On the lottery here, when I sell the lottery at work, there are certain of the online games that will ding, 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 ding when you get an instant win of some sort on the ticket. And I have one customer in particular, Anita, that comes in every day and buys lottery tickets, and she's always at any ding dings. Usually it's no ding dings. If you need a guest, I'm available. You know what, Pat? I'll hold on. I'll try to talk while I do this, but you all know that I can't do too many things at a time. And hold on, I was reading a DM. Let me find you. There you are. And I'm going to give you that and that, and you should have it now. And there is Alex scratching his head. I can't hear you, Alex. Can the chat hear you? I can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
There you go.
This piece of fucking shit. I cleaned my PC and it resets fucking everything. You're lucky I wasn't there when I got in here, because
Hey, Pat.
There we go. Like a damn, I'm so right here. Like,
everybody forget your mic.
Yeah, I jumped in. I'm like, oh damn, I'm catching everything.
So how's it going, fellas?
It's going very good for me, man. What's going on with y'all?
I'm alive, darling. I'm alive.
That's it now. Well, it's going on. It's go ahead.
I was just moaning, Pat, but please continue.
I was about to say, it's going from great for me now, compared to this morning, because I kind of got into like a little kerfuffle on Twitter, and it ended up me like waking up to a barrage of DMs and stuff like that from from people and things like that. Because last night I had to put out a tweet because somebody had tweeted something about this girl by the name of Demi Bagby. And I didn't know who the hell she was. I heard a whole lot of things about her. One of the things that that she was supposedly involved in like a controversy involved with her like sleeping with like Marines, and she was underage at the time, and she threatened her with like statutory. Now that's the rumor and all that right there. So I was asking around, but unfortunately the way I worded it with my tweet, I screwed up. I misphrased. I meant to ask isn't this the girl that they say did all the stuff that I mentioned, but I forgot to include the they say part. So a lot of people took that, as me like accusing her of that right there when I was just asking a question, and I can understand. But it's like I woke up this morning, and I mean, this girl has a rabid fan base out the ass.
Oh yeah, and heaven forbid that none of them have ever misspoke. Sure,
yeah,
I'm sure.
And it wasn't until like Mocha Rosary she had messaged me and all that right there. And I went back and I'm like, why am I getting all this craziness right there? And then that's when I looked and actually saw what I tweeted. I'm like, oh, that's where I made the mistake. So I ended up deleting it, but I had but I had corrected myself. I had archived it and I retweeted, and I gave the story of like I'm saying, yeah, I meant to say this right here. I messed up and I own up to it right there. But then I went on to say, but to all the people that gave me like all the hatred and all that right there, y'all can go to hell, because it's like I can understand, but I never could stand the fact when a lot of people feel like they feel the need to like white knight and shield maiden for like for like people and things like that, especially when those people can speak for themselves. But
Oh
you know how
yeah.
it goes, man, when you're a fan.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of my friends on Twitter getting in arguments and yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
Ow! Ow!
Yeah.
It's one. Alex.
Hello. That really fucking hurt. I way regret.
That looked like it hurt.
Yeah, that actually hurt a lot more than what I was expecting it to.
Ron. Good
I mean, you
grief.
just slapped them on.
If you're not brain damaged already, you're gonna be now.
The right side made my eardrum vibrate a little bit. That was weird. I heard you were talking about Twitter, moaning about arguments. I can only assume that you're talking about moi.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, partly you. You're not the only one. There's not just arguments of drama. I just don't need the drama right now because my life's in a kind of bad place at the moment. And you know, and part of that is some of you probably seen my baby sister had a stroke, and she's in bad shape.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, she had a stroke on Saturday, and I got a call like 5 minutes before I left work from my brother-in-law. He's just in tears, saying they're not expecting her to make it. So I went over there and spent some time there. And the bad part of it is, and I'm not making judgment here, folks. You know, you believe what you want to believe, but my sister and her family are one of those that don't believe in going to doctors. So they won't take her to the hospital. She's just laying in her bed. And I know better to even say anything about it because I've been in this argument with them over and over for 60 years, you know?
Yeah.
And so it would have just been the wrong thing at the wrong time to get in that argument while I'm there. So, but she's doing a little bit better. She had my brother-in-law text me and tell me that she did hear me when I was in the room. I walked in and I said to her, I said, look, baby sister. And I said that because she hates it when I call her that. I was trying to take her off. I said, look, baby sister, you're going to have to tough through this because it ain't right. I'm the oldest one in the family and I should go first, not you. And it walked out. So, yeah. And that's not the only thing. But everybody's life gets tough sometimes. And mine's just a little tough right now. And I don't need the drama. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. On a bright note, though, and I mentioned this on Twitter too, my Cardinal is back. I'm so happy. I know it seems weird for a grown 60-year-old man to be so thrilled.
You're not 60.
I will be in 12 days. Shut up.
Yeah, it's my birthday next. All right, 11 days.
And mine's the day after.
Yeah.
As it is every year. You know,
it's an annual thing.
Yeah.
We're streaming.
My Cardinal is back. I'm so happy. He has sang all day today, and I was hoping he would keep singing, so maybe you guys would hear him because it's so pretty. And would you know, the second I hit go live, he quit singing.
Like, okay, time to shush.
But he even come out and seen me today after I got home from dropping my granddaughters off. I could hear him singing, but I couldn't spot him. So I'm standing out in the yard looking around. My wife come to the door. What are you doing? I said, I'm looking for the Cardinal. I can't see him. And so I gave up. I started to go for the door. And just as I got to the door, it's like he introduced himself like, here I am. He pops out on the power line, faces me, sings at me for a while, and then flies off. I know it's just imagination, but in my mind, I want to think that he was talking to me and saying, I'm all right. I'm right here. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love it when my Cardinal's here. I love to hear him sing. It makes me smile.
Does he have a name?
He does not. And I do know it's a he because it's red, and the female Cardinals are not red. You know, birds are the males are more brightly colored. They're the flamboyant ones in the bird.
The flamboyant ones.
Yeah, he is
not that flamboyant.
He's very bright red, and I'm just fascinated with these birds. I've talked about it before, and I won't spend a lot of time on it. But they return to the same place every year when they come back in the spring. They mate for life. Cardinals in different areas of the country actually have a regional dialect. They have kind of an accent, if you will.
So you got a redneck cardinal.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. I love my bird. My grandmother instilled in me a love for birds and taught me how to recognize many of them by their call. And I guess it's a carryover of that. I just and plus when the cardinal comes back for me, it's a clear sign that spring is nearly here.
Oh yeah, and down here, oh man, it's been feeling good. Like right now, it's clear out. The sun is on, things like that. This is like barbecuing weather.
Mm. It's 57 degrees Fahrenheit here, which for you, Alex, that's shirt sleeve weather.
Yes,
But it's rainy. We've had like a light drizzle the entire day, but it is warm. So
good. At least the cardinal came back and brought a little bit of sunshine to your life, mate.
yeah, I sat here for probably a good hour this morning, just sitting in my chair and listening to him sing outside the window, and just and smiling the whole time. So, but yeah, so there's been good things. It ain't all been bad.
I've been trying to copy you, actually. I've been trying to live that redneck life.
Mm-hmm.
Doing as much as I can in my current state, but so I've got a walking stick. Yeah, and been threatening Vanilla Bear with it an awful lot.
Yeah, I seen that on the video. I told you, and I told you this. She's going to kick your butt so hard. You keep that up, and I'm going to laugh.
She won't, honestly, like she probably could beat me up at the minute. It's not difficult right now. A medium, not even a strong, a medium gust of wind could take me down at the moment. So walking into the kitchen can sometimes have that effect. But yeah, it's all fun and games. I want a proper walking stick though, not that. It's more like a mountaineering stick, if anything.
I've seen that. It did look that way to me with a rubber, like a hockey puck on the end of it.
it's like a litter picker on the bottom. It's weird. It doesn't work like it's supposed to either. Like I've nearly gone over a few times because of that. But yeah, I was looking at some pimp canes today, funny enough, actually.
Yeah, I'm like Deck Train, need a pimp stick.
Yeah. My cane is just a plain old wooden shepherd's hook cane, just like my avatar is waving in his hand there.
I need that. I need that. Or a NASCAR mobility scooter.
Well, I would take one of those.
Well, I know you would.
Yeah.
I won't go faster stripes on mine.
I do. If I reach some years where I need a walking stick and things like that, trust me, we're either going Gandalf or we're going straight up. I'm going to get you something. Hey, we're gonna be pimping through here.
Mine's just plain old wooden. I would assume oak, but it's very heavy. It's heavier than most that you see. It's thicker. It's very thick, and trust me, you'd have a hard time breaking this over someone's head. It's going to break their head before you break this cane.
It's ideal, really.
Yeah.
It's going to last longer in a fight if you need it to.
Yeah, but it's hung on my wall since my surgery so that I can look at it right from where I sit. Right, I'm looking at it right now and remind myself just how much better I am. I haven't had it down off the walls for almost a year now because the surgery was in right after my birthday last year.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. This is what I get, because how long did I spend joking about, having downs, needing ramps, taking the piss out of you for having that, the walking stick. And then lo and behold, Karma comes along and goes, "Oh, you think you're funny, dear?" Oh, well,
I always warned my wife that I'm hard of hearing, which is one of the reasons I'm very loud.
What?
And my wife used to get mad at me and think I was just being lazy and not listening instead of being hard of hearing. And she'd get mad and snap at me when I'd say, "Huh? What?" She'd, blah, 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 and I'm like, I'm hard of hearing, not stupid. But I said, you know, you keep it up and it's going to get you. You're getting older too. Guess what? Her hearing's worse than mine is now.
See?
Yeah. I
That's
said, I
sweet
told
karma.
you. I told you.
I need my own Pat to piggyback me around.
Well, he looks big enough to do it, but I don't
Yeah.
know if he wants to.
Oh yeah, I'm small enough now. Like I'm under 12 stone now, dude. So I'm like 165 pounds. Like
You
Pat
weigh
should
less-
be able to bicep curl me at this
You weigh
point.
less than I do, so I know you're scrawny.
Yeah, I'm itty bitty.
And I've
I'm
been
getting-
losing.
Yeah, I'm
Even
getting
I've
back
been
there.
losing weight, you know, because I'm back to work, and you know, all my pants are drooping on me, and I spend all day at work hitching my britches up because they're falling off.
I know that's kind of like my situation right now, because now that it's warmed up and it's getting ready for spring, I'm kind of like, you know, trying to trim like the little winter fat that I gained over the stuff like that. I don't know. I kind of do that every year. I kind of like hibernate and shit like this, because when it gets a little cold, I put that little extra on me and things like that. But now that it's starting to warm up, now I got to work it back off. So I have to cut out all the stuff that I've just enjoyed all this time right here, like the sugar, the carbs, and all that right there. So I got to start eating healthy again. And of course, today, you know, we have lemon flavored wings, and oh man, we had all such good stuff. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm like,
I love
I
lemon
can't have
chicken.
this.
Oh, I love lemon chicken. There's a local restaurant. It's not a chain. It's just one of them local mom and pop places that makes the best lemon chicken. Oh, delicious. Love it. Of course, I'm a redneck. I love all fried chicken, you know.
All fried.
just-
Everything that's
That's-
unhealthy, really.
Well, yeah.
Covered in cheese and filled with sugar.
We even fry pickles.
Oh man,
You know, we even fried dill pickles, and they are delicious.
Oh, I want one.
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
I agree
mean,
with Kyler. Gibbs.
You
I
go-
want to go to Pat's house when it's a holiday.
yeah.
Oh,
I've seen the
man.
video she
Ooh.
posts. I'm like, oh
Yes.
my god, I'm like dribbling over here, salivating.
I'm saying it. We be ready to go, boy.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like,
That's
how
like
much is a
what,
plane ticket?
Yeah, the 4th of July is coming up very soon, so you know it's on.
Oh god, that's gonna make me so hungry.
Mike Savage says, question, do you groan when picking something off the floor? If yes, you're old. Oh, years ago, I realized I was making all the noises that I used to laugh at my dad for making. Every time, because we had to, I've mentioned before why, because somebody kept trying to steal them. We had to put all our lottery tickets under the counter. So you have to bend over to get them. Every time I bend over to get a lottery ticket, oi, oi.
I've started making new noises that come complimentary, free with the abnormalities. So when I get into bed, and I'm trying to get undressed in the dark, it's always after Vanilla Bear's gone into bed, and that's like the worst time for me. That's when I'm at my most tired. The sudden loss of light is an issue, and the sound I make when I'm trying to get undressed in the dark whilst trying not to fall over is and this, I also make a new sound in the shower because I'm trying really friggin' hard not to fall out of it. It's oh oh.
I'm surprised I've never fell in the shower because I have a habit of falling asleep in the shower. I fall asleep in the shower standing up. I kid you not. I don't know how I don't fall down. But
The water, is that relaxing? You just like,
oh, I love a good hot shower. I will turn that water just as hot as I can stand it.
That's how I do it as well, to be fair.
And just stand there. I hate to have to take a quick shower, which sometimes you do. You know, you're in a hurry. You got to take, because I like to get in there and enjoy it. Just stand and go,
Yeah. I have a bathtub in my house, and we had to go out and find a decent shower attachment. It's okay, but it makes the possibility of falling out a little bit stronger. But my subs are bastards. They had their own nice little meme at the moment. They're like, go crowd fund a bath seat for Alex. I'm like, fuck you. Not there yet.
Yeah.
But to be fair, my mum, before she moved, used to have a wet room, and sometimes when I went to go stay there, I would get a sneaky sit down on her chair. And you know what? That shit's comfortable.
Yeah, my mom and dad had a shower chair. Yeah. And before my surgery, I was getting to the point to where I was thinking I was going to have to get one, but didn't. Might have to eventually, But,
Let's take a bucket with you. A bucket is good enough.
yeah.
You sit on the bucket.
I don't want a bucket.
Well, get yourself a bucket. I'm not buying it. I'm skint.
I've took many a bucket bath, jug baths. You betcha.
Yeah, I've been there too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like being in the military, you definitely learned that.
Yeah, we used to go camping a lot, and there was water at my family had property out in the country. We had there was a pump. You could pump the water, but it come from a spring, so it was like super cold. So we'd bring a bunch of milk jugs, plastic milk jugs. We'd fill them up and set them out in the sun to warm up, and then stand out in the middle of the woods and dump it over our head, soap up, and dump the other one off to rinse.
Oh, sometimes you got to do that. Just get wet, get soapy, rinse it off, and get out.
Yeah. The real, you knew you was a man though, because we did build a shower out of wood. We built a shower stall, and it was like in two sections. There was a section to get undressed in with a little bench in it. And then there was a curtain, and there was a section that you showered in. Now the top was open. This is just right in the middle of the woods. But we had a hose long enough to run from the pump to the shower. And this is straight spring water. Now, this isn't the kind of pump that you had to keep pumping the handle. You lifted the handle and it would just keep coming out. It had pressure behind it. And you'd get in there and you'd get undressed, and then you'd have somebody man the pump and holler, "Okay, now."
I'm naked.
They'd flip up that lever, and that ice cold spring water come down. You could just hear them in there going, "Oh," and get wet. Says, "All right, turn it off. And then they'd soap up, and then it's ready to rinse. Okay, turn it on again. Oh. I tell you what, it was so cold it made your teeth hurt. But if afterwards you felt so good, because we usually camped out like in July where it's really hot and muggy, and you just felt so fresh and so clean and so cooled off. It was great. But if you could survive the initial shock. But yeah,
Shia Garath, fuck's sake.
I love Shio. He was messing with me on Twitter. I was talking about my cardinal, and he sent me a little meme that said "gay."
Gay.
Yeah, and I sent him one back of Clint Eastwood say, "Go ahead, make my day."
He's going to shoot you, because he will shoot you at some point. I can't remember what I was going to say now. I was introduced to a cop. Well, not physically introduced, but I was made aware of a content creator, and I use that term loosely. His name is Lucas Werner.
Okay.
And he is autism incarnate.
Autism incarnate, huh?
Yeah, he's one of those he's like an extreme incel.
Yeah.
He doesn't call himself an incel, mind you. He thinks that men over the age of 35 have sperm. And that's why but he has a thing for the really young ladies, like 16 years old, sometimes younger. He tried to argue that because Japan is so advanced with their technology, that we should lower the age of consent.
Oh, so he wants to. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
He wants to diddle.
He's quite the character. He's so narcissistic that he makes memes of himself. But they're not funny. They're only funny to him, and they're usually just awfully specific about a piece of drama or criticism about him. He looks like a redneck. In fact, he's so dodgy that he even got the attention of Chris Hansen.
Oh,
yeah, Chris Hansen uploaded. I think it's about 50 seconds. He uploaded a video to YouTube, and it was it was a few months back now. And he's like Chris Hansen's actually quite funny. He's like, Lucas, I hear you're up to some cheeky things. Stop it.
Yeah. You have to be bad to get Chris's attention, I would assume.
Yeah, he was
real
like,
bad.
Pack your shit in, or you'll be taking the seat with me. Basically, that was the warning I took from it. And this guy, oh god, he actually thinks that if you the chicks, the ladies, will become attracted to him once he finishes going to community college. Bear in mind, he's 40.
Oh god.
And he's doing his biology degree or something. And he thought that wearing Batman trousers to college would attract a mate. He's also thinks that that communism is a good thing. But I don't think he's not in favor of communism because of, equality and all that kind of stuff. He's in favor of communism because he thinks that in a communist state, he will be issued a girlfriend.
I don't think it works like that.
No, I don't either. Funny enough, I don't either.
Yeah.
When I last, read up on the different forms of communism, Leninism, Stalinism, there was nothing in there about issuing girlfriends.
Toilet paper, maybe.
Yeah, milk, powdered milk, bread, toilet paper, girlfriends, not on the list. Not on the list. Funny
Number
enough.
one says, well, that little Asian nurse in China who was helping with the coronavirus asked the government to issue her a boyfriend. Maybe they should meet. There you go.
Yeah, but the thing is, like for a woman, it's not hard.
No.
And in China, there's like a trillion of those motherfuckers.
I mean, it's really not. Even an ugly girl can get a boyfriend pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just you'd have to be willing to lower your standards a little.
Yeah.
It is tougher for a guy. I'll grant you that.
Yeah. Lucas also thinks that he's a great chef. Because to attract the ladies, you need to be a great chef, apparently, according to him. I've seen his cooking. He's not going to attract a raccoon with that.
Oh, dear God.
He doesn't wash his dishes either. I saw a plate and that he was eating off his food. Ugh, you can call it that, and it looked rusty.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
no need to wash them. I'll just rinse it off.
I'll just lick it and put it back,
and it'll be good. Yeah.
That sounds like a walking joke.
Yeah, he's a special kind of character. I can't remember the exact the thing that got him in trouble with Chris Hansen. He propositioned a young lady who was working at Starbucks. What do they call them? The position that
barista.
Barrister. Yeah. He propositioned her via beer mug. fucking Matt, and wrote a message on there. And I can't remember the message. I'll have to find it, but it was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, he's a colorful character.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I've been introduced to a couple of different people like that in the last couple of days. Some just ultra autists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good grief. Some of them
out of the woodworks now.
Yeah, some of them are lunatics. There was a guy I was sent his channel, and he was doing like a reaction response video. Really, like it was really done badly. And he did it to a guy who's basically a pickup artist, and the pickup artist was wrong as well, right? And the things that he was saying.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but both of them were wrong. I can't remember. His name was Hoper, I think it was. Like he initially came across as like an uber conservative type, but no, he's a bitch. He was like, well, if you want to get the ladies in the modern day, then you need to be a feminine man. I was like, what?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was complaining about that a few weeks ago because up until recently, I was back into and I still do. I was back into playing Sims 3, and I was there's a website called the Sims Resource, which is the biggest Sims fan website.
Yeah,
thousands upon thousands of pieces of content on there. You know, clothing, everything, whatever, cars, whatever you want for the game, you can download it for free. And I'm looking, you know, they've got tons and tons of female content, but not much that I care anything about in for the male Sims, because I'm looking through it, and 90% of everything I'm looking at is girly boys. I mean, that's what they make your Sim look like. And like, look, you know, if that's what you want to do, okay. But I'm just looking for some simple blue jeans and a t-shirt or something. You know?
Yeah, because the clothes for the guys. Standard mix is rubbish.
It is.
It's not very good at all.
Yeah, I was just looking for. I wanted a nice blue jean jacket. Maybe they could wear, you know, something, you know, not terribly manly, but you know, masculine enough. And yes,
but you got to try out this frock.
Right. And Justin Bieber. Oh my gosh, the Justin Bieber stuff. I was like, oh no, I don't want it.
You shouldn't be surprised though, mate, because you know, if you go and look at the people that are still playing The Sims 3 as content creators on YouTube and that are still doing very well off of it, you know, a lot is females, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of females do play, but a lot of males do. Probably more males than admit it. I guess they're afraid to admit it because it is kind of like playing with dolls.
The male content creators that I see that still play The Sims 3 and still do well, you know, they're getting millions of views. They're getting way more than what the ladies are, and their videos just consist of like the guy just torturing them.
Kyler says, what, Bloodwing? No muscle cars? Oh, yes, there's muscle cars, and I downloaded them. There was a 1968, or was it? No, 69 Judge GTO, and I absolutely downloaded it. Because that is my dream car.
That's where all the guys are. They're busy making vehicles.
Yeah.
Because guys aren't bothered about clothes, are they?
Well, there's a lot of male creators, or I assume they're male by their names, their online handles, that make clothing, but they're all for women. Of course, that's the scanny stuff. You know, the short skirts up to their crotch and the
well, yeah, that's like the Nexus mod manager.
Yeah.
You go on there, there's thousands of mods for Skyrim and for the different Fallout games, and the guys are making sexy mods.
Oh heck yeah. Skyrim, are you kidding? There are mods for Skyrim where you can capture one of the female bandits, and tie her up, strip her off naked, have your way with her, and you know, do whatever. I'm serious. I've seen it.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't download those mods because I'm a good Christian boy, but you know.
of course not. Of course not. Of course not. But I still play The Sims, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I'm a manly man, you know.
I
And,
play
and
Sims 4 when I'm out playing City Skylines.
I just can't get into 4. I played the free version because they offer it for free for a short time, and it just right off the bat, you could not buy a dishwasher. And that's always one of the first things I buy because it saves time to get an automatic dishwasher other than your sim standing at the sink washing the dishes. And I'm like, really? And then I left the house to go across the street and it zoned just to go across the street. And I'm like, this is a step back. So
yeah.
I just couldn't get into 4. I'm sure it's a good game. It's just after 3, it just seemed like a real step back.
Speaking of old games, actually, EA are remastering and re-releasing the very first Command and Conquer.
Oh yeah,
yes. They premiered the trailer this morning.
I have it on CD. The original.
I probably have it somewhere as well. I probably have the first decade on a disc, several discs somewhere. But yeah, they're remastering and re-releasing the very first one, I believe. Or all of the Red Alert series. I can't remember what they said, but I did retweet it. I have to find it real quick. I want that.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter very much at all.
You don't get good RTS games anymore.
No, that's not the thing. The thing is, what do they call it? Like, what's that game that's so popular right now where you build stuff and shoot stuff and build stuff? Fortnite, yeah. That type of game is
the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
It confused me when they because I decided a while back. You remember when I wanted to try out an MMO, and I bought and I downloaded Black Desert, and I installed it and stuff, and there was like, Battle Royale mode coming to Black Desert. And I was like, how?
And why?
Yeah. The game has a shit ton of stuff to do.
I tried to play Fortnite. Bandswitches don't care for it. I tried to play it, and no greater than the graphics are in that game because it's real cartoonish. You know, it would not play on my computer. Not this one, but my laptop, where more better graphic games would play. And I'm like, why is this sucking so much of my resource? No, thank you.
I got into League of Legends, but it's like that's one of those games right there. You got to dedicate your time to it. I got a job. I can't.
Isn't that like a MOBA or is that a fighter game?
It's like it's kind of like an up version of World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying it's very good. I like the graphics and how it really is, and it's also kind of like they have like the League of Legends tournaments and things like that. It's one of those where you really have to dedicate your stuff to like day in and day out. Otherwise, you can't. Well,
I really like MOBAs. What's the big popular one? The one I play is called Smite. Anyway, I like MOBAs. But the communities for those are so toxic, extremely toxic, that I will not play with anybody but by myself or with friends, with J-Kid and whatnot, because you go online and they're like, noob, you suck, you suck, you suck. Well, how do I get good without trying to play? And if you try to play with somebody, they're telling you suck. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember trying to stream. I looked into the YouTube gaming thing, and one of the big games on YouTube at the time was War Robots, I think it's called.
Yeah,
and like the stream title said, first time playing it.
See you later, Kyler. Have a good day at work, dude.
Have a good one, Kyler.
Yeah, take care.
And it is lad in the chat. I found the stream because I was playing it. And, he initially started off nice and patient and was explaining things. And, like, I didn't get what he meant by something. And then he snapped. He just snapped at me. You're fucking like he thought noob was like the C word, like or even like to him it was like the N word. He's like, you fucking noob. Like he was losing his shit. I was like, calm the fuck down, mate. I've got 10 people watching me. I'm just playing a game.
I hope it's not like the N word, because I call my grandkids noob all the time.
Well, the way that he was going on about it, like it suggested to me that he had like a lot of weight behind it, like as if it was a genuine insult. So I was like, yeah, I am a noob. It's in the title. It's the first time I'm playing it.
Cannibal Caretaker asked, "What have you been playing, old man?" I think that was a reference to the mod I said I'd seen, but lately, because there was a great sale. It's over now, I think. But if you like, again, I'll mention. I know you don't, Alex, but if you like the Borderlands series, there had been a really terrific sale. I mean, super cheap for the entire series. You could get any of them and all the DLCs, because they're getting ready to release Borderlands 3 on Steam, which is the one game, in case anybody's listening and they've got an extra bunch of money laying around, it's the one game I have on my wish list on Steam. I'm just teasing. It is on my wish list, but I'm not begging anybody to buy it for me.
Yeah, didn't Sats on them get that and didn't like it? Or did they just beat it like on
they may have beat it. I don't know. I purposely have not watched any gameplay of it, or very little gameplay. I have watched videos where they have broke down the different characters that you can play and what their powers are and stuff. I've watched that, but as far as gameplay content, I haven't watched it purposely because I want to experience it for myself. But
real quick, there's a game that's free you can download. It is called Dauntless. You can get it off the Epic Games Store. It's very much like Monster Hunter, except if Monster Hunter had its own Fortnite version of itself, if that makes sense. That they've taken Monster Hunter and they've Fortnited it, if that makes sense.
okay.
So I had it go, but it lacks a lot of substance and depth. It is online and stuff, but I did give it a go, but it's a bit basic.
Bansma asked me, did I know that the guy who found the first General Lee lives in Indy with a 2009 Holden Ute? No, I didn't know that, but it's not surprising. Indiana is very much a car state. We're all about our racing and stuff. So I've always said, and that's just another one of the reasons that we are the most redneck state north of the Mason-Dixon. Trust me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't particularly care for those battle royale games like Fortnite, any of them. Just the concept of it doesn't even, if I'm going to do a player versus player, I want it to be something more like, Call of Duty does that, the PvP, in that if you get killed in a match, there's a cooldown, a wait period, but you're back in the match after. And with these, at least a lot of them, I understand it, you're out till the match is over. You're done. And that would suck.
I know that's not the case with Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Because you can just, it sends you back to the main menu, and then you have to rejoin another game. Rather than having to wait until the end. You can wait until the end. You can spectate, but you're not forced to do that.
But you can't go back into that game. You're done.
Oh yeah, all battle royale games are like that. Yeah.
You'd see, that would suck to me. I don't.
Oh, one hit and you're done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I wouldn't like that. I don't like that concept. But if that's your thing, if that's what you want to play, and that was what makes you have fun, then you go free. Go for it. Go for it. Not my. The older I get, the less inclined I am to do PvP anyway on any game.
I know I'm more recreational myself, so
I like doing co-op and PvE. And actually, Alex, I was thinking about you the other day. Like I said, I've been playing the original Borderlands again.
Yeah, that's the one that I've played. Yeah.
and just having a ball doing it because I love that game. And I just finished General Knoxx, the General Knoxx DLC, Secret Armory, which is my favorite because it has some of the best one-liners in the entire franchise, in my opinion, in that DLC. It's just so much fun. But I was thinking, it's a shame he doesn't play this because we could have so much fun in here goofing around. But
I have Borderlands on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I played the first one. I played the first one for quite, I wouldn't say a long time, but I played it, more than a few times. I put some hours into it. And I used to just fuck around.
Yeah, well, J Kid, and I almost called him by his real name, which he wouldn't care. His name is Josh. J Kid and I spent a lot of hours in that game, just goofing around. I remember one time, this is not long after that game is like 10 years old now, 11 years old, somewhere around in there. I think it came out in 2009, somewhere around in there.
God, I'm starting to feel old.
Yeah. But I remember not too long after it came on, we were playing a co-op match. And if for those in the chat that have played it, we were going after Crom. We were in that valley or canyon or whatever you want to call it that Crom is in. We hadn't got there yet, but we were just outside of where it triggers the cutscene to where you're fighting Crom. And a football game come on. American football, of course, not that stupid soccer.
That's football.
Came on, and we decided to watch the football game. So we thought we could both hit the pause button. We were playing it on Xbox, and we'd be fine. We're watching the football game, and all of a sudden, our controllers start bouncing around on the table because there's got the vibration in it. And we're back in, and it didn't pause. And all the enemies that we had just cleared out of that area had respawned, and they were killing us. So crap! We've had a lot of fun playing that game. A lot of fun, and it tickles me because I've mentioned it, but Mordecai, he's the sniper, is my favorite character in Borderlands 1. He also, his special skills, he has a bird, like it's an eagle, falcon, hawk type bird, something, a raptor, that will attack at his command. And its name is Bloodwing.
Hey.
And I've had this name long before that game had come out, so I didn't take my name for that. But it happens to have the same name, spelled a little different, doesn't have the E in the middle. But anyway, I get a kick out of because he'll go get him, Bloodwing, get him, Blood. No, I'm like, I get a kick out of it. So yeah,
like I'm going.
Yeah. Every time I hear it, I'll just smile. Plus, Mordecai is just, I just love Mordecai. In the very, very beginning, you played the first part of it, at least, Alex. You're sitting on the bus where you got to pick your character, what you're going to play.
Yeah.
And Marcus, the driver of the bus, is calling off everybody. And first he calls off Mordecai, and he says, "You with the mask." He's got this fake Russian accent. And he says, "You look like a Truxican like a Truxican wrestler moonlighting as a dominatrix, man." and Mordecai, the character, flips him the bird. And I'm like, yeah, I like this guy. Of course, when he gets the brick, the real big guy, he says, "I'm not insulting you. Your burps smell of blood." And but yeah, anyway. Huh?
I like it. I'm going to go blubbing. I have a video to quickly finish and prep for my own stream in a little bit. So I'll have to love you and leave you. So I will see you soon, mate.
All right, buddy.
And well, have a great day, boys.
All right, take care, man.
Okay, I'll speak soon. All right, bye-bye.
So yeah, Cynical says Mordecai is my hub's favorite. I prefer the Siren. Oh, I love Lilith. Lilith's my second favorite. It's actually very close between Lilith and Mordecai. But the one thing that makes the difference for me, if you have the Moxie's Underdome DLC, which is like fight wave after wave of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Mordecai is favored to win those. In fact, in Borderlands 2, when Mordecai shows up, he talks about having won the Underdome arena. And it's just because of his bird, because the bird will kill up to 6 enemies at a time. And that's great for thinning the herd when there's a bunch coming out of it. But anyway, enough about that. I'm probably boring you, Pat. I'm sorry. But,
man, when it comes to gaming, I love it. Like,
I love that game to death, and you get me talking about it, and I'll talk for hours. It's probably why Alex left, because he doesn't like the game.
He don't like Borderlands. I never got into Borderlands and things like that. It's like, most when that time came out and stuff like that, that's when people started getting into like Overwatch and all that right there. So
yeah, I love Borderlands because of the humor, and it was the first game that came out with the shaded cell look. Others have copied it now, but it was the first one. And the first one was such a big smash hit, which was surprising because when it came out, that company was a nobody. Nobody'd heard of them. They're famous now, but that's what made them famous. And it just shows you that, you don't have to be one of these big companies to make a great game. You just have to make a great game.
And that's what I heard it was, because a lot of people who had played it, like they just really like got all into it. Now Borderlands 2, like let's see, it they say it wasn't best as good as the first one and all that right there, but it made like a really good impact.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 is a good game. I don't like it as well gameplay wise as I do the first one, but storyline wise, it has much more story to it. Because that was the big kick against one. They say, "Oh, it has no story." Well, it does. It was just told differently.
Yeah,
your character never actually talks back and forth to another character or anything like that, like they do in Borderlands 2. You got the story through picking up these recordings around the world. You could pick up these recordings and there'd be stuff recorded on it, and it would tell you what was going, how it got to that point, that kind of thing, and the background on other characters, non-playable characters and stuff like that. There was story, you just had to listen for it.
Yeah, it's like well, and of course, like how you said, this was just a game that just came out. And I don't think they were expecting it to do as great as it did. So when they made the second one, they knew what they had to improve on. It was kind of like with Saints Row, like like it was one of them games that came out, it was like a Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, it's a Grand Theft Auto ripoff.
Yeah.
And the first one didn't do as well, but when they started to own that they were a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, they started to own it and capitalize on that. That's when it got popular.
Yeah. Then the second one came out. Then I don't know. It's like by the time they came to the third part of Saints Row, all that right there, they wanted to kind of get kind of away from like the we're looking like this Grand Theft Auto. We got to kind of create our own thing. So they started adding like a little like the sci-fi and like the fiction and stuff like that, so it doesn't look like all realistic gangster wise. And I think that's where they started like really doing something for themselves. Now the fourth one, I was like, all right, y'all done just went straight silly.
Well, 3 was pretty silly. I mean, come on. There's a weapon in there that is a huge giant pink dildo or purple dildo that it got pretty silly. Don't get me wrong, I own St. Road's Third and I absolutely love that game. I love it because it is silly. It doesn't take itself serious, and I like that. It's absolutely silly.
And the main thing I liked about Saints Row the Third, it had my boy in it, Burt Reynolds. I'm like,
Burt Reynolds
that part right there. Oh man,
it's got Burt Reynolds, it's got Hulk Hogan.
Yep, like because he was on board with the mask.
Yeah, the rest. Well, he was the wrestler that had been unmasked that joined your team.
Yeah,
Angel was. and it's got some others. Yeah.
Yeah, like for instance, like the twins that yeah, a lot of people didn't even know that was Sasha Grey. And you know, Sasha Grey is like a former porn star, and she like
Yeah.
played like the voice of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting who the one that played the one that had like the little voice thing.
There were several.
Yeah.
There were several that pitched in and done some voice work for that. But yeah, probably the biggest would have been Burt Reynolds, though.
Yeah, and of course, like, you know, and another reason why they made like the fourth Saints Row and things like that was to bring back Johnny Gat, because a lot of people got lit up, man, when they killed him off in the third one. Like, really? like Johnny was the best part of Saints Row.
Yeah, but did they? But see, the thing about 3 was you were never shown a body,
Mm-hmm.
and you never seen him die. You were just on what happened. They were on. It was right during the beginning, and they were on the intercom in the airplane, because the first one starts on an airplane, and you hear him get shot, and you assume he's dead because the plane crashes, you know, and all that. But
and that's what it was. It was like based on, a lot of people got mad based upon the assumption. So when they made the fourth, they have just written it out like, no, he didn't die. He just got kidnapped by these aliens.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
Yep. It's silly, and it owns it, and that's what I love about it. And there's a lot, and in 3 there's a lot of references, if you listen, to Grand Theft Auto. You know, owning up to the yeah, that's what this is. You know, it's a ripoff. And where Grand Theft Auto takes itself fairly seriously, we don't. We're just silly.
Yeah, now. Which, oh man. Right now, what Grand Theft Auto Online, the way they've been doing lately, it's like it's probably gonna be another couple of years before we get a Grand Theft Auto 6.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I got an alert just as I got that, and thank you, Jaeger. Oh my gosh, very. I'm speechless. That's extremely generous, Jaeger Pony. Thank you. No comment to added to it. Just my goodness, I'm speechless. I don't. I never know whether, you know, people want to, because I was raised where it, you know, like the Bible says, when you give, don't you know, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. You know, and I'm like. So I'm always, I never know whether to announce how much they give, but it was very generous, and I hope that wasn't a mistake. I hope you meant to give that. If it was a mistake, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to fix it. But goodness,
yeah, very generous donation.
Yeah, appreciate that. It will sure go to a good cause, a good cause. But yeah, I've been enjoying playing the original Borderlands. They were so cheap. I was, and he says, I meant it. Cheers. Well, yeah, good. I say that because once Trez, you know, that's also on Alex's streams and so forth, gave an accidentally double hit. So she double donated, and she didn't mean to do that. So, I know that it would be easy. Hey, Jen, how you doing? But yeah, I was able to get the original Borderlands for they had like the original Borderlands with all the DLCs for like $10 with all, and it has a ton of DLCs for it. And for like another $10, I was able to get a bunch of DLCs that I didn't have for Borderlands 2, plus the Borderlands pre-sequel. It was just really super cheap.
No, I'm saying at a good price.
Yeah, but that's because their Borderlands 4 is getting ready to be released on Steam. So
yeah. Just like I'm saying, like getting it at a good price, and so to try to like get people like back into it so they can look forward to it.
I was glad. I always looked and I didn't see anything on it, because every once in a while I'm like, you know, because I had Borderlands, but it was on my Xbox 360, which no longer works because my grandchildren broke it. But being too rough with it. But I was always wanting it on my computer, since my Xbox 360 didn't work anymore. And so I would go over and look, and I'm like, yeah, that's not bad, but I really don't have that kind of money, and then forget about it. So I just happened to flip over. I wonder what they're selling Borderlands for, and they were having that sale. I'm like, good grief, better grab it now before it goes away.
Yeah, and I think like next month, like the Final Fantasy VII remake is supposed to hit out.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing a lot of people who got like their like early releases, like or the Let's Play or like the like the the beta of it, and it's been looking good. The graphics and all right there, because that's the only thing they really can do is like improve the graphics, because the original, there was nothing really wrong with it.
Right. Well, I never played 7. I did not get introduced to the Final Fantasy series. Well, let me start over and rephrase that. I played the very first one that was released in America. Okay. I don't think the first one was ever released in America, but the first one that was released in America, and it was just called Final Fantasy. Didn't have a number next to it. It was just called Final Fantasy. I played it. But after that, I thought of, and at that point, it didn't have the following that it has now, obviously, and the character build and all that storylines. It was more or less just an RPG shooter, just, slash them up. I didn't get reintroduced to it until 10. So I didn't.
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I never played 7. I did love 10, loved it to death. Didn't like X2, did not like that at all, but I did like 10.
Oh, I like the 10 too. Like like it was about because it was very different than unlike how it used to be, like where they like take turns, things like that. Then it's like you could just flip like your different jobs, like in the middle of like the fight. Like 1 second they'll be in like this unit, she could be like this gun, and then she could just like flip into this other character.
Yeah. Cynical Lindsay says Final Fantasy 2, 3 are 4 and 6 in Japan. The real 2 and 3 and 5 were never released in the US. Yeah. I don't know which one it was, but whatever was the first one to be released here in the States, and it was just called Final Fantasy. Is all it was called.
Yeah.
And it was just a game. I didn't know anything about it. It was just a game I picked up on a whim for my NES. So
yeah, and the thing is, like with Final Fantasy VII, it's like I still got my original that I had bought. Like I had played it, and once I had beat it and all that right there, I've been having it in that case, and it's been surviving with me all these years.
Yeah. But I don't know. I might play it.
I said still in good shape.
I might play it now. Like I said, I never played 7. I know a lot of people love 7, and I've heard a lot about it. I've just never played it. I did love 10. Absolutely loved 10. Waka and Lulu, good grief. I mean, what more can you say? And I don't care what you say. I know it's a pixelated figure in a game, but Lulu is freaking hot. Okay?
Oh man, Lulu. Yeah, she got like that gothic thing going on with like with the dress and stuff like that and the cleavage.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And then there was Waka, and I always felt that, they should get together. But,
and they ended up hooking up because I think like Lulu, like she was like she was Waka's brother's girlfriend before he had died.
Yeah. If I remember, it's been years since I played it. It's been years. That would be another game fun for me to revisit and replay if I could. If that's available. But anyway, you know how it works, Pat, on this stream. There comes a point in time where the old man has to go to the bathroom, so his guest has to carry the show for a couple of minutes, and we're at that time. So if you would talk to the chat for just a minute, I shall be right back, I promise.
All righty. And with that right there, like I'm saying, like what's going on, chat? I'm saying everybody that's up in here until Blood Wing comes back. You know how it goes right here. You know, like share, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and things like that. You know, if you could be so nice, you know, donate anything that you can. You know, like yeah, you know, do whatever you can, like to support and show you know how much that we care for him and all that right there. You know, especially right now, where he's been working to the fact where he can't stream at certain points right there. So when he does stream, we're glad to have him back. So it's like everybody showing their love up in the stream, like, hey, Genty Maxi. I see them all right there. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know, like Final Fantasy 10 too. It was well, then again, I am a good fan of Final Fantasy 7 on up to what they've done right now. Like now when it came to like the one about lightning, like that's where it kind of like got like a little off the like off the rails, but it was still a good game to me. It just like was just phased differently than what I was used to. So but I think this Final Fantasy like remake it's basically gonna be like the same. They're just gonna like upgrade the graphics and they're gonna change a whole lot of things, which we already know that we've been seeing like in like past reviews of people who have like kept up with this game. But like I said, you know, for what they make in the remake and stuff like that, I got the original, you know, and like I said, I can still play that right there anytime I feel like it. So doesn't matter what they do with this remake right here. Just know that I got the original, and that always will be the best. Especially because you know the original still has Tifa with those knockers, which that was a trip right there. Even when they talked about when they was gonna do this remake right there, that was the first thing that they aimed for. It seemed like, yeah, we're gonna remake Final Fantasy VII. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna shrink down Tifa. I'm like, why am I not surprised? But I saw like the image of her and things like that, and you know, like besides the upgraded version of her, like they did actually real good. Now, hopefully, like I said, you know, they kept the story up to like how it was and how it was in the original, and didn't change it up to like appease to like certain communities. If they did that right there, then this game would be a success as it was in its old days. But
We still talking about 7?
oh yeah, like talking about how the remake is going to be compared to like the original. Like if they keep like the same story and not change it as much to like appease certain people, but whatever they do, people can always go back to the original right there, and it still looks good and it still plays better.
Yeah, in my opinion, the best thing they can do is just upgrade the graphics and the gameplay and not touch the story.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things that the people that I've seen that love it, they love the story and the characters.
Mhm.
I love with that. And
But like when they'll switch up the story and they'll change this character to like be this and be that, when they know that's not how it was before, but you know how it goes.
Yep. Yeah. It worries me when I see that they're remaking an older game or something like that because of just that reason. Don't touch what made the game great. Just
Yes.
upgrade it, make it more, make the graphics better, what have you. In fact, the version of Borderlands that I just downloaded was I forget what is that called. It's got updated graphics that they just come out with here a while back. It's the Game of the Year enhanced version. So it has updated graphics, and some of the gameplay is a little less wonky because it was their first game. It's an 11-year-old game now. There were some glitches, and they've tried to take some of those out. And, one of the biggest kicks against the original was the mob pathing was pretty terrible sometimes. Pretty bad sometimes, but yeah,
but with all the let's say with all the remakes that they've been making on so far and things like that, And they've been pretty good, and you know, some have been like fairly decent. So I'm like, if they're gonna keep on doing this right here, when are we gonna get that remake Dino Crisis or that remake Parasite Eve? They make those two games right there. That's where they'll catch me back on.
Mhm. Never played either one of them.
Oh
And
man,
I know of them. I just never played them.
yeah, oh, especially Parasite Eve. Like, oh, when I first played that game right there, I just fell in love with it. And then it came out with a 2, and I hated that they tried to make a part 3, but they put it on that PSP thing right there, and it really sucked.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really didn't consider that part three itself. I'm like, man, they could have made part 3 when they came out with PlayStation 3, but
I think
yeah.
we're starting in video games. Now, this is just an opinion.
Hmm.
We're not quite there yet, but we're starting to get close to being to the point where video games have been around so long now. And people forget that my generation was the first to have video games.
Hmm.
You know, because they're like, you're 60 and you play video? Well, yeah, my generation were the first to play them. We had to play a quarter to play them. So that just shows you we were serious. We had to go out and play a quarter to play them. But you know, video games come out in the 70s.
Oh yeah, they don't know about the arcades.
Yeah. So you know, they've been around now for so long that we're starting to get to the point where we are with movies that people are out of ideas. You know, and like with the movies, you know, here's another remake. You know, instead of something original, here's another remake. You know, and it always stinks.
Yep. Because it's like with the remakes, it's like it's something that they want to do differently, but they want to bank off this nostalgia because they got so lazy. So
yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with taking an old beloved game like FF7 and remastering it for today's computers and you know, making the graphics better and for today's audience, because that game come out, oh good Lord, how long ago did 7 come out? Because like 10, I think, is just about 20 years old. You know, so 7's quite a bit older. So, you know, for this generation, so they can experience it. But Sugargrass says 1997. So yeah. You know.
Yeah, the original.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But if they remade it in the way that they remake movies, you know, put their own spin on it and they change it and does this and that, I think we're just about getting to that point with video games. It just feels like it.
Because they kind of did that with Resident Evil 2, where it's like they made tiny changes, but it wasn't enough to where like where it affected the story.
Yeah. Upgrade the graphics, you know, make it more palatable for today's audience and so forth, but don't touch what made it great.
Yeah, like, you know, like if you want something that looks like that but on a different story, make a new game. You know?
Yeah. Tell your own story. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and do like with them right there. You know, they told their own story and it lasted for this long. So it's like, do that right there. But you know, people want instant, you know, instant success, instant fame and all that right there. You know, they don't want to work for it. And that's what they understand. That's the joy of coming out there with something new, you know, putting something out there that's never been there before and see how it goes. You never know. It's hit or miss. If it misses things like that, okay, go back to the drawing board and try to come up with something else. But it's like, don't just try to grab on something that already exists, put your spin on it, then throw it out there and expect it to be automatically like like an instant success, because usually don't work like that. But yet they still fail to realize that.
Yeah. It's just like I said, you know, earlier when Borderlands was first released, the first one, that was not a big company. It was a little small, nobody had heard of them company, and they'd done something different. You know, they come out with their own. Yes, it's a shooter, but it's an RPG shooter. And if you love loot, there's no better game than Borderlands. I mean, that game series is all about the loot. You know, and they were successful with it. You know, so yeah, tell your own story. You know, instead of taking what's already beloved and changing it till it's meets today's standards.
Yeah. And the wild part is the people who they're trying to meet at today's standards and things like that are a tiny itty bitty bunch, and they don't even buy into it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do they break their neck? Trying to appease these people who don't even like the stuff from the get go, but they want you to make it to their liking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those misery loves company, and they just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah. I mean, if you make a good game, people will come.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the original Resident Evil. Now, even at the time it was made, the graphics weren't the best. And if you look at it now through today's eyes, and I'm not talking about the remake, I know it was remade.
Mm-hmm.
But you look back at the original copy of it, the graphics were terrible, absolutely awful. But the story sucked you in so bad you didn't care. You just didn't care.
Yeah, and I hated what I hated about the original is like they took out one of the best parts of the Resident Evil, especially like when you played like Jill, like when Barry saved her from being squished from that one room.
From the room,
Talking about that was close. You almost became a Jill sandwich.
Yep.
That was a classic right there. And they took it out of the original. I'm like, why did y'all do that?
Yeah.
That's probably why a lot of people bought the remake right there, because they're like, oh man, we're gonna see Jill sandwich, and they picked that out.
And Cynical Lindsay has an excellent point, not to mention how bad the voice acting and dialogue was. It was terrible. It was absolutely awful. But you didn't care because it was a great game. So if you make a great game, people will come, they'll come to it. That's, you just got to make a good game.
A lot of them have forgotten that.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to jump on. Like we talked about battle royales. After Fortnite hit it big, everybody's making a battle royale game, and it just, I don't know. It just seems like there is no originality hardly anymore.
Yeah, if it isn't a battle royale game, then it's like one of these quick spooky jump scare games. Ever since Five Nights at Freddy's success.
Yeah, I was never into Five Nights at Freddy's. I know my grandkids liked it, and a lot of content creators like Markiplier and everything made big bank on making videos on Five Nights at Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched them play it, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to play this game.
I didn't get into the first one, but I got into the second one, because the second one actually it looked like it put more into it, especially the jump scare part, because when they came at you, like it just hit you out of nowhere. And
yeah, but see, that was and I love horror games. I've mentioned it many times. I love horror games. And no, it's I agree, Bansman. It's really not scary. It's just jump scares, and jump scares aren't scary. That's just startles. That's what they are. It just startles you, makes you jump.
But if they hit you, oh, go ahead.
You could walk up behind me and poke me in the side, and I'm going to jump because it startles me. That's not scary. That's just a startle.
Yeah, but the jump scare, especially like in Five Nights at Freddy 2, it's like they would play so greatly. It's like that's what made it really really good in my part. Like it's right there thinking you're doing everything right, and all of a sudden,
yeah. I mean, it's like I was just talking about the original Resident Evil, which I still have on CD, but it won't play. You cannot get the original on CD to play on a Windows 10 box, because back then there weren't that many video cards out, only a few manufacturers. And if you don't have one of those video cards, it won't recognize it. And you can't get past the opening screen, because I've tried a million times. At the time that it came out so many years ago, I had a Matrox card. So, and I bought it specifically because it would play that game, because I wanted to play it. But,
but it's like, after Five Nights at Freddy and like when it was a success, then they started coming out with these other games like Wick and Emily Wants to Play, which I saw like a let's play of that on YouTube, and it was more weird than it was scary. Like,
yeah. I've seen some good ones and I've seen some bad ones. One of the things I appreciate about Markiplier is he has a series that comes out, like
Mm-hmm.
a couple times a month, maybe. It's called 3 Scary Games, and he'll visit 3 different in one episode, 3 different, low budget scary games. And some of them aren't so scary, some of them are awful, and he's honest about it. If it's bad, it's bad. He'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, the original Resident Evil, yeah, it had jump scares. Sure, it did.
Mm.
The most famous probably is the scene in the hallway with the zombie dogs that crash through the window.
Oh man.
But the reason the jump scares worked so well is because the game built the dread, and it was great at building the dread, giving you that feeling of what's around this corner. I can hear something. I don't know if I want to see it.
And then it's like, like they did it by a screen by screen part right there. So it's like you be coming like towards the screen. By the time you it switched to the other scene right there, next thing you know, there's a big giant tarantula right in your face.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that was one of the things that frustrated me to death about that. The camera angles in that game were not good.
Yeah, and plus, like I think the movements were like tank wide.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think so many people have forgotten how to make a good horror game.
Yes.
Because just so few of them hit the mark anymore. It's just like they've absolutely, Hollywood has forgotten how to make a good horror movie.
Oh man, they forgot that at the end of the slasher.
Yeah, I mean years ago. It's been so hard. I keep trying. I keep looking. Every once in a while, I'll find a gem. Usually something that flies under the radar. But it's just it's either just a bunch of gore, or it's a bunch of jump scares, or a bunch of jump scares and gore. There's no suspense, no dread build, no nothing to really scare you.
Yeah, because well, for a lot of scary and stuff like that now, I just go to Japanese horrors. Now, like I think the last horror movie I ever watched was like the Japanese version of Shudder. Yeah, that right there.
I've watched some J horror. It doesn't get it for me because a lot of their horror seems to be tied into ghosts and spirits and stuff, and that stuff just doesn't scare me so bad. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't. I think because I was raised that, my mom believed in ghosts, but she believed they didn't hurt you, couldn't hurt you, and I was raised with that, and so they're not scary to me.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, like there was a game that was on PlayStation. It was called Fatal Frame. Like you played that one?
Oh yeah, I've not played it, but I've seen it played.
Yeah, like now I liked it that, well, I didn't it was like real simple things, like like where you had to take like you had to catch the ghost with like with the camera and all that right there.
Yeah,
and it had a real good story. Well, I'm saying the first one did. Now the next two were kind of like weird, but I like the very first one.
Yeah. And I could see why that would be, a light game. That's a pretty cool mechanic with the camera and all that. But yeah, I've never played it, but I have seen it played different times by different creators. Lindsay says, I have Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And if J horror is your thing, then hey, go ahead. If that's what scares you, then go for it. It just doesn't scare me.
Come on now, like I said, I'm saying, a pale Asian girl with a long hair covering her face in a kimono, like coming at you all, doesn't scare you.
No, it doesn't, because it's just so ingrained in me that they can't hurt me. They can't hurt me. But you get a Michael Myers in a white William Shatner mask carrying a butcher knife, that can hurt you. Yeah. Yeah. For those, I don't know who wouldn't know that by now, but yeah, that mask that he wore was a Star Trek William Shatner mask, painted white or faded white or whatever they did to turn it white. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I say, I guess I'm just gonna take this knife and shove it up to her.
yeah. Oh, by the way, and that brought me back around. I meant to mention that way earlier in the stream. Today is the birthday of and his name just went out my head.
Mm.
Doggone. That's terrible. That's awful. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. It's his 80th birthday today. Yeah.
80. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've seen him recently, and yeah, he looks a lot older, but he does not look 80 at all.
Yeah.
Age has been pretty kind to him.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody today is breaking out the old Chuck Norris jokes.
I say, keeping yourself less stressed.
Yeah. Breaking out the old Chuck Norris jokes. I think the best one that I heard today was on the radio this morning when they said that Chuck Norris is so tough that he went to a Burger King and ordered a Big Mac and got it. Yes, Cynical Lindsay, it has. It's been pretty kind to William Shatner as well because he's over 80 now. And
maybe it's just a horse semen.
Might be, but he did get control of that in the divorce. So.
Yep, like Morgan was reading that I think last night.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio, and I follow Shatner on Twitter anyway because he's just so hilarious. He is hilarious. That nobody handles trolls like that old man. He just rips them a new one. They don't have a chance.
Now, like I said, they can't troll Captain Kirk.
No, he just nobody's better at it than him. I'm serious. Very few celebrities that I follow. I do follow him. I do follow James. He just recently come back to Twitter.
James Woods.
James Woods, because again, he's hilarious as well. My brain just is not working today. The actor that played in CSI New York.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah, Gary Sinise. Yeah, I follow him. That's it.
Yeah, because the rest of them are pretty much, like screeching to the rooftops about politics and things like that. Well, James Wood does it too, but he doesn't
yeah,
he doesn't go nuts with it.
I've just never been big into celebrity worship, and I don't follow the ones that I follow because of that. Like I said, I follow Shatner because he's hilarious. I follow Woods because he's funny. I follow Sinise because he does a lot for the military and people that have been in the military. He does a lot for them. And he's ex-military himself. So I respect him quite a bit. And that's why I follow him. And I follow Trump because, again, Trump's tweets are funny. Ill-advised maybe sometimes, but they're funny.
Yeah, plus, they reached the zone where it's like they just really don't care anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they've done their thing right there. They're retired and they're just like, like, hey, I've done that right there. I'm just gonna do my thing. You like it, you like it, you don't. Oh well.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, absolutely. No, Bansman, I do not follow Tim Allen. I would probably enjoy his stuff, and I follow a couple of football players on the Colts team, but that's about it as far as celebrities. The rest of them are all YouTube acquaintances. But let's see, what time is it? Oh, we got about another half hour.
Half hour.
So did you change your clocks, Pat? Did it get you?
No, it didn't get me. My clock's automatically changed. Thank God. Otherwise, it would have, because I got my eternal, but it's like when I woke up, it just didn't feel right because my body was up, but like it in time just hasn't synced up yet.
Yeah, it'll take a minute before your internal clock gets caught up and used to it. Yeah, my phone, of course, changes on its own.
Mhm.
And that's what my alarm is set with, is my phone. But I had to go around. I actually went around Sunday afternoon, early Sunday evening, and changed all the other clocks in the house, just so that I was aware that, like, okay, this is when I need to go to bed. I don't want to think it's 10 o'clock and it's really essentially 11 o'clock and have to get up in the morning, kind of thing. But
Because that was my thing, especially going to work Monday. I'm like, I went up in there and I'm just like, this don't feel right.
yeah,
I feel like I'm late.
yeah, I get that. And it's got back to it had gotten to the part where when I picked up my granddaughters, the sun was up. It was just up, but it was up. Now, until it catches back up, and it will, when the days get longer, it's back to being dark again. So that kind of stinks. But
Yeah, where I'm at, like I think yesterday it got dark around 7:30. So that was the biggest change right there, because like I think it was getting dark like an hour early right there. So it's like that's what I'm trying to get back used to with my body. So it's like
right.
It's hell of adjusted.
Well, what this will change, though, and I haven't worked a night shift since the change. I had to be at work Sunday morning, so I had to be really sure, and I was nervous about that. Like, oh, good Lord, I don't want to oversleep, because that would not be good. Don't want to oversleep, but I didn't, and got up on time, was there. But I haven't worked a night shift, but now with the time change, it will still be at least the sun will still be up, pretty low in the sky, but still be up when I get off. Which, depending on the day, I get off either about 7:15 when I get done. And on some days, though, it's 8:15, but most days it's 7:15.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, give me a few days with it, and then, like I said, I'll be all good then, all tuned up. But it's like once I get used to it, here comes the change again.
Yeah. It was one of the reasons why Alex was late. He tweeted me is he didn't realize it was what time it was, because they haven't changed.
I know, and it was kind of like that Sunday, because I think what Sunday was when the time changed, right?
Yes.
And that's why, like, me and SD was supposed to do like a little interview stream. So it's like, she was like asking me for the link around 1 o'clock, and we were supposed to do it around 2 p.m. My Central Time, things like that, which would have been 3 p.m. her time. So I think I don't know if she just jumped over like an hour early, or she's like, "Where's the link?" I'm like, "You're an hour early."
Yeah, time changed 2 a.m. Sunday morning, I think it was. But yeah, there were Alex lives over in Europe. They haven't changed yet. They haven't went to daylight savings yet.
Oh, damn.
So there'll be a few weeks here. I don't remember how long exactly it is when they do change it, but there'll be a few weeks where there's the difference between our time and their time is longer than it usually is. For me, usually there's a 5-hour difference between me and Alex. But
yeah, that's what it usually is, like about a 5-6 hour.
Yeah. And because I'm on Eastern Standard Time here in Indiana, which makes no sense to me because Indiana is certainly not on the East Coast.
It's like,
it's the Midwest.
Exactly. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't be on our time, but hey,
No, it stops here because when you cross the border to the west to Illinois, then it's Central Time. But yeah, I don't know. It just is. Who knows how they come up with the boundaries they come up with.
Nah, I never figured out. All I know is like, hey, if I'm flying to this part right here, like say, hey, you know, the time is gonna set back or set forward.
Yeah.
I just try to keep up with it.
Well, it used to be up until about 10, 12 years ago that we didn't change time here in Indiana. We had our own time. It was called Indiana Eastern. And we did not change when everybody else. It was us and I think Arizona. We did not change time.
Arizona still
Mm.
And I think Arizona still does not change. But I wish we'd go back to that. Actually, it was just simpler. It was just
Okay.
easier. Didn't have to worry about setting the clocks, you know, and we were like that for years. And then our politicians decided, oh, well, we need to go back to Eastern Standard or to daylight savings because it saves on their big plug that they give it. It saves on energy and it's better for commerce. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the old energy argument.
Yeah. If you say so, whatever. I don't buy that. I don't buy
Now, I
it.
got a friend who lives in Arizona. I got to ask her that.
Yeah, they do not change time. But for years we didn't hear in Indiana either. Us in Arizona were the oddballs. But I liked it better.
Mm-hmm.
Much simpler.
But
What's that?
no, I was looking at looking at something right here.
Uh-huh.
I was strolling through Twitter.
I got you.
What in the world?
Yeah, I've not been going on Twitter much lately. Not at all. I just I know a lot of people enjoy drama. I'm not one of those people. Drama makes me nervous. It does. It makes me feel nervous.
Mm.
I could never watch Jerry Springer because it just made me feel nervous. It's like this is not enjoyable. This makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Yeah, like I said, Jerry was more like I'm saying a whole bunch of people just acting a fool.
Yeah.
You sleep with my husband, you sleep with my baby mama, and all. You know, and then they just come out swinging.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, man, they got some characters on that show right there between him, Maury. Oh God, especially Maury, man. You know what I'm saying? You are and you are not the father.
Yeah. It's just dumb. It's just not enjoyable for me. And I know a lot of people do enjoy it. Hey, you be you. That's your thing. Whatever. But Twitter's just got so much drama. You know, there's a reason I don't look at Facebook hardly anymore. Very rarely I'm on Facebook, and the only people I got on Facebook is family.
That's what I do right there. Like
family and close friends.
Mhm.
You know? And I'm almost never on Facebook anymore because it just got so full of drama and people airing their dirty laundry in public and like, you know, I don't need to know this.
That's social media.
Yeah. Bansless says apparently Jerry Springer is a judge now. I don't know. Is he? Wouldn't surprise me. He has been mayor of Cincinnati. That's true. That is a fact.
I said, who knows? I said, who knows what Jerry's doing now?
Yeah.
Like I said, I stopped watching the show a long time ago because I'm just like you. It just got repetitive and it's like the same old. You know, you got all these crazy people on here. You know, acting a fool, looking for attention, fighting each other, and it got boring.
Why do I need that? I mean, my life is Jerry Springer. I got enough about my own life. I don't need to watch somebody else's.
And with my family, that's what they do. It's like they'll watch reality TV. You can't see me using air quotes right here, and they'll try to live it. Like Jesus Christ, like y'all do realize that's fake, right?
Yeah.
Like my sister and them, they get into like that one show. Love and Hip Hop and Empire, and I mean they talk about this show as like I'm saying like these people live next door. I'm like, that's drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that kind of thing has been around for years. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we had soap operas for so long, and I will admit I got into them. There was a period of time there that I got into them. I was
know. My mom, she still gets into the Young and the Restless.
I used to be a huge General Hospital fan, you know. You know, back
I
in
like Days of Our Lives.
Yeah,
because I had a crush on the one that played Sammy Brady, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh no, she was just cute to me, even though she was evil as hell.
That was my mom. That was her show, was Days of Our Lives. Like the sands in an hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
And that show has been around for God, how long? Like,
well, geez, soap operas were actually around before TV.
Yeah, like back in
they were on the radio.
Back in the radio days.
Yeah. So yeah, they've been around forever. You know,
I know because sometimes like Maddie be like she'd be like playing some of one of her on her live stream sometimes like doing some weekends. She did one time where she was playing like a couple of like the little radio station shows.
Yeah. Yeah, Lindsay, I watched all those because they were all those were on the same channel. Add in what was it? What was the one where it was in the bar all the time? Ryan's Hope, was that what it was called? They were all on the same channel anyway. All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital. Yeah. I was young and out of work, and that's all that was on TV during the day. So yeah, I'll admit it. I got into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was been like the ABC, NBC, and CBS days. Like like I said, like in ABC it was like what Days of Our Lives, and then it was Another World, then it was Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Like I said, like all those, like all they mentioned right there, like All My Children, One Life to Live, and which one was the one with Susan Lucci on it?
All My Children. Yep. That's what made her famous.
Yeah, because it took her forever to finally win a damn Emmy.
Yeah, made her famous, and that's also where Alyssa Milano got her start. All My Children. She was on there as a kid.
And now she's an even bigger brat on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whew.
There's a lot of people that got their start on soap opera. Richard Dean Anderson, you know, MacGyver, started out on General Hospital.
Didn't Rick Springfield?
He played on General Hospital for a while. Yeah, but that was after he had the hit Jesse's Girl on the radio. What was the actor? Oh, for pity's sake, I could see him right in front of me. The show they've done a remake of it now on Netflix. What's the show? It was in San Francisco. You know, guy whose wife had died. He's raising his girls, and he's got Full House. The dark haired guy on Full House. What's his name?
Jesse.
Yeah,
John Stamos.
John Stamos. He started out as a character named Blackie on General Hospital. So yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sarah Michelle Gellar played on All My Children. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that got their start on soap operas. I wish my memory was better. I could rack off more because I'm seeing their faces in my mind.
Yeah, but the thing was, when soap opera were on, I was in school, so yeah, I hardly got to watch them until I got older.
Yeah. There was an actress that made it pretty big for a while that started out on not all my on Days of Our Lives. What was her name? Played on a show with the guy that was the boxer on the show Taxi. The actor that played. Boy, I wish my memory was better. Huh?
Scott Bale?
No. I wish my memory was better. I could rack it up because I could sure see her face right in my mind, but I can't. She got pretty big for a while. She was very popular. Tony Danza played on the show with Tony Danza after Taxi. After he played on this show with her. She started on the soap operas. But
which show did she play on?
Days of Our Lives, I think.
And there are so many
Yeah.
So many Days of Our Lives characters, like, man.
Yeah, they're Judith Light. Thank you, Sean DW. Thank you.
Oh,
Judith
the one
Light.
that played on Who's the Boss?
Yeah, Who's the Boss? That was the show I was trying to remember. Terrible memory. I know.
No.
I'm so sorry. Trust me, when you get a memory as bad as mine, it just sucks because you want to remember and you can't, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I like to say, because been through so much.
Yeah.
They can't remember at all.
No. The old brain will only hold so much, and if you keep stuff in there, stuff is going to spill out. I didn't know this was a monkey stream. Well, Monkey has a bad memory too, but his is for a different reason. I think his is because of the medications that he takes. Mine is age. Monkey's not as old as I am. And plus I've done a lot of bad things to my body and brain in the 70s. So it's a wonder I even have as good a memory as I do.
Like I said, from what I heard about the 70s, man, it was a wonderful decade.
Yeah.
Peace and love. And a whole lot of it.
Yeah. Deck Train Alyssa Milano says a lot of things. Who knows what's true and what isn't?
Man. I said, that woman these days, man, I don't think she can even keep up with what she be talking about, because she will flip the script faster than anything. Like 1 second she is so behind this person and so in love with them and things like that. Next thing you know, she'll jump to the next person in a second. Like right now with the whole Bernie thing going on. And just think, what, about a couple of years ago, she was full on team Bernie. Now so all of a sudden it's Team Biden now.
She should have just stuck to acting, because she was okay on Charmed. She wasn't my favorite on Charmed, but it was okay.
But you gotta keep Hollywood happy. If Hollywood says push that narrative, they're gonna do it in order to keep themselves employed. Because that's all I see anytime I see like people like Alyssa Milano and them tweeting or saying the stuff that they're saying. I already know, like I said, that's not you, that's Hollywood.
Well, yeah, but you do have a few rebels like James Woods and Tim Allen and the actor that played Hercules. What's his name?
Kevin Sorbo.
They say what they want.
Yeah, but with them, it's like they have to fix their life to the fact where like they hardly need Hollywood, or they've just reached that point where they're just like laid back, like James Woods. He done did his thing so bad that he don't care. He got the time and the money to say all the stuff that he's doing. But with the rest of them, it's like, they need Hollywood in their future. Otherwise, they gotta do a 9 to 5 like us, and since they don't want to be around us common folks, Yeah, so they're gonna say, I'm for this and I'm for that, and even though they're lying through their teeth.
Kung Fu, the legend continues. The original Kung Fu was so good.
Oh man,
it was so good, and what an idea! We talked earlier about original ideas. What an idea to come out with this Kung Fu expert wandering the Wild West. It was just such a great idea that nobody had ever had. It was so different. and it was so good. Really loved the original show.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. What are
That's
you
it.
doing, woman? Okay. My wife is trying to bounce a rubber ball on a carpeted floor, and I don't know why. Okay, she's lost it. She's done lost it. Just because it lights up, so she wanted to get it to light up.
Ah,
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Alzheimer's is set in, guys. Shh.
I know that ball's gonna come your way in a second.
It is, because she's only about 6 feet away from me. Wouldn't be a hard toss, even for her. But yeah, Patience Grasshopper. Yeah, the original Kung Fu with David Carradine. Yeah, enjoyed him. Of course, I was familiar with his father, John Carradine, who was a horror movie legend.
Mm.
John Carradine played in a lot of old horror movies. You'd recognize him if you've seen him. I'm sure if you've ever watched any old horror movies. Very well known bit actor in horror movies. But and of course he had his brother Sean, who didn't get as popular as David, but he had his go back.
Yeah, see.
Day.
Kind of like with those Arquettes, like some made it big and some just like who.
Yeah. Sean DW, I'm not going to read that out loud. I'm just going to say, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. If I read that out loud, I'd probably get smacked. But
I don't know, but I feel like if they ever did like finally realized like what it takes to like make good movies and stuff like that, and went back to that formula, I feel like we wouldn't be around to see it.
yeah, probably.
Chicken.
You're right. See anymore, woman. And you know where I sleep. You don't play fair.
And I know where you work.
Yeah. No, you're right, Pat. It's right. The glory days of Hollywood are long past.
And that sucks.
Yeah, you're just not going to have movies. Well, you're certainly not going to have movies like in the golden age of the 40s and 50s and 60s, and even the good movies out of the 70s and 80s, and there were some into the 90s, I think. But after that, after the millennium, it's all crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to find a few gems in there, here and there, and a few good stuff, but by and large, it's all crap. It just really is. I meant to talk about. I'll talk about it the next stream. Found a great documentary. I meant to mention this with Alex here because he likes at least one song of them. I know because I played it for him. If you're a fan of ZZ Top, there is an absolute great documentary that's come out on Netflix about ZZ Top. Absolutely great. Not only do you get to find out a lot of stuff you maybe didn't know about the band and how they got started and got together, but it's all full of their music. So many of these documentaries that are done don't actually feature the music of the people that they're documenting because they're not made by those people. But this was actually made by ZZ Top, so it features all their music. So yeah, if you're a fan, go check it out. You won't be sorry. It's great.
I like ZZ Top.
I watched it last night and very much enjoyed it. It's about an hour and a half, I think. But I meant to mention that while Alex was here, because I introduced him to the song. It's an old song of theirs called "Blue Jean Blues," and they do sing it. They sing it live on this documentary. Because they can still jam. Guys can still jam. And yeah, if you're a fan, go check it out. But
All right, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Can't talk about it much anymore because we are at the end of the stream. And this is the part where I thank everybody. Thank you so much for coming out, and especially since I know Monkey was streaming, so I know it was hard to make the choice. And so thank you for those that come out and hung out with us, and all that, and thank you for the donations. My gosh, how generous! I'm still speechless. But thank you, Pat, for coming in and hanging out with us. It's been a
All
bit.
right.
Chad,
All right.
anything you want to shout out?
Just well, come Thursday, I don't know what time if you're gonna be streaming that day. I'm probably gonna do it around 3:30, like just in case you are streaming, so that way I can catch yours. And I'm gonna be doing like a live stream on my channel reviewing one of these movies called The Adulterers. Something I'm gonna be doing right there. And of course, Sunday I had interviewed SDA, and we had a very good time. So like in the next couple of weeks, if I can get it all around, I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the minions of the zoo. I'm just trying to see if I can get them all who all I can get together into that bunch right there. And if I can get more than just who I can do, then I'm gonna have to make it like a 2-part stream.
Yeah, one of these days when I get my schedule straightened out, I will pop on one of your streams if you.
Oh, that'll be nice.
I will come on. Theater Winch Ginger, I just wanted to point it because I'm pretty sure that she's new to the channel, and I'm glad you had a good time. It was great hanging out today, and that is exactly, you've hit it on the head. What I want this stream to be is just hanging out, hanging out, like sitting around the kitchen table talking, like people used to do in the old days. They used to talk. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, really. As for me, I do plan on streaming Thursday. As far as I know, I'm scheduled off on Thursday, and I'm scheduled off on Saturday, so there should be a Saturday stream.
All right.
As well, depending. You never know with me what's going to come up anymore. Today's stream almost didn't happen because my mouth is very sore, and I'm probably going to do that as soon as the stream's over. I want to go take my false teeth out to give it a rest, but I'm not going to talk on stream without my teeth. No way. And have you all laugh at how funny I sound? No. I'm not easily embarrassed, but that's one thing that does embarrass me is being without my teeth. So, yeah, as far as and maybe by not this weekend, but by next weekend, we can get the next episode because I got to get back on Redneck Trek. I got to get back on it because we left old Captain Hickenlooper hanging in the breeze there with the promotion and a new ship coming, and we got to get on that. So yeah, I've just been waiting for my schedule to straighten out, and which it's done, at least for the time being. You never know, a business like mine. There's sometimes a lot of turnover.
We understand.
And when that happens, guess who they call on? Can you work an extra shift? Because they know I will.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Yeah, I'll be there. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for hanging with us. And but it is that time. And as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.